Hi there, this is David Dugan, and I'm just saying welcome to the big picture. This is part of the Elite 500 Mastermind. I want it part of our toolbox. And if you're listening to this and watching this, then it's because your owner or the person who's involved in your business is working with me to help grow the business. And this is a great tool that we use for all the team members to help you stay on track, to help you focus on what is the most important thing for you, and also have clarity from the owner of the business where we're actually heading and what we're actually doing and what your accountabilities are. So you go, look, this is what I've done. It also gives you a great sense of achievement and satisfaction that you're making measurable progress along the way. So what is this? What is this document called the Big Picture? It's called the Big Picture because it gives the overview of a quarter. So this is like quarterly planning, and it gives you an opportunity to not only look at the 12-month goals, so this is what we've got over here, but then narrow it down to the quarterly top things you want to achieve, and then to the weekly. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the top left, work our way down, and then we're going to go across to the right-hand side. So the 12-month KPIs, that's the company KPIs. Now speak to the owner of the business, they'll be able to give you those. They should be known already. But those things could be like achieving a certain number of clients. So you might go, we need to increase clients from 100 to 120. Another goal might be we need to have our EBITDA or our net profit of business at a certain percentage. So there's going to be a goal on that. There might be about putting in a new website or a new big program. Like something that's a big deal that involves everyone in the business. That could be in the 12-month KPIs. And that should be given and at least worked out with the owners of the business. Then we get into the big picture. When it says my big picture, it is your personal big picture. So it's actually what are the main things that are important for you. When we look at the main roles are really just giving us what are the key things that are in your job. Now you may not necessarily, you may have a lot more than 6, you might have less than 6. We've got 6 little dots on here just so that we don't get overwhelmed by too many things there. So what are some things that might be in there? Okay, if you're a PA, it might be, okay, I'm a personal assistant to whoever you're a personal assistant to. It could be systems improvement, it could be tax preparation, it could be weekly cash flow forecasting, it could be planning events of some sort. So that could be stuff in the main roles. What's some other ones? If you're more of a sales and marketing, it could be like a brand development. It could be sales and marketing. It could be something in there around, if you're more of the leader in the group, it might be running a main role as a team leader of your certain group. When we go to key outcomes or KPIs, KPI stands for a key performance indicator. It's the actual results that you produce. So, for example, if this was in the sales and marketing division, or if it's in the owner business, it might be to achieve $125,000 worth in sales at a 20% gross profit. In other words, it's a dollar figure that's on there. It could also be a key a KPI. Could be that we get 7 new leads in per week. Another KPI could be something around having a weekly or monthly reach out to clients. So if you're in a client-facing position, so as that I have a connection, I send an email out. Another KPI could be number of blogs that you actually put out. So if you're in that perspective. So the key KPIs are things that we can actually measure. So they've already occurred, they've already happened. So you finished it, you've got a result. It's like when you go to a doctor and you're feeling sick or you're feeling crook, they're going to take some measurements. They're going to take your blood pressure, they're going to take your heart rate, they're going to take some bloods as well and get some analysis done. So they're results that come from a lifestyle that you've lived up until now. So you get a perspective. If you're feeling crook, what are the things they're going to want to measure? So the results that come back from those measures are KPIs or key outcomes. Maybe a key outcome could be I've got to launch and develop a website. If that's in your area as well. Now we move down to critical drivers. Now this is something to be worked out with the leaders in your business. And in essence, so a critical driver, whenever you or the business has had a really great month, then the critical drivers occurred. When you've had a really terrible month and the critical drivers didn't occur. And so there's always going to be like a company big picture ones of what they might be. And then you want to come down to what are your personal critical drivers. So in this sense here, you'll be things like, might be like I said, in this one here, it could be something around looking at number of telephones to book meetings for partnership meetings. It could be a critical driver in this sense, could be if you're in a PA, thinking one step ahead of the owners. Another critical driver could be that a critical driver would be a weekly team meeting, could be one for someone who's in an operations area. If you're in more a maintenance type company, like some of the engineering companies, a critical driver could be that the maintenance schedule is done. Another critical driver could be, are we sending out our invoices or our work in progress, our WIP, are we sending that out on a regular basis? So think of when you've had a really bad week, when something's gone bad, what actually happened. And the critical drivers are what we call leading indicators. The key outcomes, or KPIs, are more like lagging indicators. So a critical driver is a leading indicator. If you went to the doctor sick or crook and they want to take all these measurements, what would be the leading indicators? The leading indicators that you'd want to know are, how much exercise were you doing, how much sleep were you getting, what sort of toxins were you putting in your body. In other words, were you smoking, were you drinking, were you taking drugs? Are you meditating? So these would be critical drivers. Now, if you're measuring those, then you get and doing those activities, you get a better result. So, key outcomes, key things that you need to get done in a job. There'll be a number on those, so we can actually go how many, give us some real tangible results we can see on that. And then the critical drivers are what leads to those results. Then we come down to my top 3 quarter results. Now, what this is meant to be, this is meant to be the ones that you want to achieve. So these are the top 3 quarterly results that I'm going to achieve in this next quarter. So this is quarterly planning. You write 1, 2, and 3, and the deadline for quarter 1, and this is using calendar year, not financial year, is going to be end of March, end of June, end of September, and end of December for each of those quarters respectively. And you can just circle the one it is and write it up on here. That's the left-hand side. That's where the bulk of the critical thought goes in, getting that set up. And once you've got that set up, that will stay pretty consistent for the whole year. You might tweak a few things, particularly critical drivers might be tweaked. And then all you do is just change what your quarterly results are going to be for the next quarter when you go to the next one. You will notice that you can type into these boxes. So you can actually type in whatever the results are here, and then if you go to tab, it then goes to the next box as well. So this side here, you'll notice you can type in. When you come across to the other side, you won't, and that's deliberate, because what we want you to do is to print this off, preferably A2, preferably colour as well, but either way, black and white's fine. And then what you do is you want to be thinking, okay, for me to achieve these results that I've got down this bottom left-hand corner, what do I need to be doing over the next coming weeks? Now, depending on how you think, some people will find this very easy, some people will find that a little bit harder. So for those that find that easy, you might even be able to map out your whole 3 months worth of activities per week. You might be able to do that. Some might not be able to plan that far ahead, and it's about 50-50 in the population are not good at that. So what all you do is go, right, this week, these are the key things I want to get down this week, and you get a Bico pen or a Texter pen or a coloured pen, and write down, these are the 3 things I'm going to get done this week. These are the 3 high-value activities. And when you put the date up here, you want to do the whatever the beginning of the week is, so do that date. So that usually I do it on a Monday, so do the Monday up the top here, and then write the date up there, and then you write your key activities. Now, the better you get at doing this, the further out that you can actually project what you're going to be doing. Go, right, for me to get this result here, you'll notice that there's like this top quarter result. Okay, this is the major thing I need to get. What are the milestones I need to achieve? Let's say it's I've got to do a let's say you're going to do a retreat of some sort. Let's say you're going to organise, actually not a retreat, let's say an event where you're going to have like a 2-hour event that you're going to organise. So you go, right, the event's going to be at the beginning of week 5, so what do I need to do to put that in place? I need to plan, and usually you reverse engineer it. You go, right, we need to have all the brochures done, we need to have flyers done, we need to have invites need to come out at the beginning, we need to accept the invites, we need to get names, lists, name tags, all that sort of stuff, and then you might write all those things out. And then as you go through the week, you can then tick them off as though you are getting, or as you get them done. If that's a little challenging for you, then just make sure that you're doing weekly planning at the beginning of the week. Set your intentions of what you want to get done for that week, and then come back and tick it off for the next week. And it's meant to be that you're writing on pen, so you really get the visceral sense of what you're actually writing on here. One of the questions you might ask is what's a high value activity? Well, high value activity is going to be something that it might be part of your normal role in the business, but think of it in this week. What are the 3 things that I really need to get done? What are the 3 critical things that are going to make the biggest difference to me getting my job done? Now, that could be well, I expect that a bulk of those things might be that whatever your top 3 quarterly results are. In other words, you want to be thinking, right, for me to get these top 3 quarterly results, what do I need to be doing? There are things, though, that you go, right, if you've got a really big week, let's say you're in a legal firm and you know, right, you've got to go to court or you've got a lot of files that need to get done, then what you might do is go, right, you know, this may not be a quarter exactly tied into one of my quarterly results I want to achieve, but I know I need to get done, and it is a high value activity. In other words, it's a big bang for buck. It makes a big difference to the overall results of the firm. Now, if for some reason you don't get it done, then you can roll over, or you go, no, it's not completed, I don't need to do it, or it was not relevant, I shouldn't have put it in there. If it's not done, then you do a little arrow, and then it should be put in somewhere else in your in this plan. What you'll also notice that in a 3-month period, there are actually 13 weeks, and yet you've only got 12 here. The reason we've designed this is firstly because the weeks are done vertically so that it matches a month. So you know this is a month, and in a month you can get one of your top quarterly results usually done. Sometimes you might go 1 project per month, but sometimes you might have 2 projects that go over 2 months, so you'll be working on 2 at the same time. So it just puts it in a month. And in the 13th week is the week that you would do the plan. So the automatic one there is you do the plan again to re-look at these again to then go for the following week. So the automatic one there is going to be in week 13 is that it'll be redoing this one here. Also, if we did a 13th week on here, it would make this not look so good, and it would push it out as well. So that's the reason why I do that. And also when you look at your monthly, you should be having monthly meetings with your team. And in those monthly meetings, you pull out what you've got here and go, right, what's the thing that I've achieved? What am I going to achieve next month, aka here? And then what support do I need? So most people, if you're very new to this, you might just do a week in advance. Better that you try, at least put your best effort into planning at least the month out and the different weeks what you want to achieve. And for those that are really comfortable with it, you can actually plan out the full 3 months. The other thing you might be looking at here is when you print this off, it's best as an A2, just to keep that in mind. The other thing is you go down, what is this experience bucket question? Thinking, David, what are you're crazy. Why are we putting this in here? This has got nothing to do with business. It has got nothing to do with business. This is about life. It's about what are some major things that you'd like to get done over the next quarter, over the next 3 months. And the thing is, it's not just about work. It's not just about business. You know, there is more to life than just this, although this might be a passion, something you're excited by. This is around also putting things in there around what experiences you want to have. They could be within the business. They could also be things like, you know, someone might be getting married, so you're going to put on here, you know, you're going to get married. Or it could be, you know, I want to jump out of a plane. I want to, you know, as in jump out of a plane with a parachute, that is. It could be that you're going on a holiday overseas, so you put that in. I want to go overseas to this place. So these are some things that you want to get done. So we're matching not just the business outcomes, but let's put some personal things in there as well. It also means from a collaboration perspective, if people know what you're up to outside work, they might help you out. It also makes life a lot more interesting. So this is the big picture document. It's a first time you do it, maybe the first 2 times, it can sometimes seem like, oh, there's a lot in here. Once you do the first one, which you do the left-hand corner over here, or left-hand side, it's really, really simple, and it gives you a great way for you to measure and track progress, and also show to the people that you're working with, these are all things I'm doing. I would suggest that you put this up on a wall so you can make it visible to yourself and everyone else as well, so they can see what you're up to. All right, enjoy it, have fun, and look forward to catching up with you at some point in the future. Catch you later, and bye for now.